Hi dear students, welcome back to online classes. I am Virupaksh BP. In today's class we are going to discuss about types of gas. Gas has two types. One is ideal gas, another one is real gas. Gas has two types. One is ideal gas, another one is real gas. Ideal gas is imaginary gas or hypothetical gas. It is imaginary gas or hypothetical gas. That means ideal gas is theoretical gas. Practically there is no ideal gas in the nature, but all natural gases are real gases. Now let us discuss the differences between ideal gas and real gases. Ideal gas and real gases. The first one, which is ideal gas and which is real gas? A gas which follows Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law at all conditions of temperature and pressure is called ideal gas. A gas which follows Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law at all conditions of temperature and pressure is called ideal gas. Then what is real gas? A gas which does not obey Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law at all conditions of temperature and pressure is called real gases. A gas which does not follow Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law at all conditions of Avogadro's law at all conditions of temperature and pressure is called real gases. But real gases follows gas laws only under certain specific conditions. Even real gases also follows Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, but they follow only under certain specific conditions. Here I will write these gases follows gas laws only under certain specific conditions. Real gases will not follow Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law at all conditions of temperature and pressure, but they follows only under certain specific conditions. The second one, in ideal gas there is no intermolecular forces between gas molecule. Here there are gas molecules. In ideal gas there is no intermolecular forces between gas molecules. There is no intermolecular forces between gas molecules. But in real gases there are weak van der Waals force of attraction between gas molecules. But in real gases there are weak van der Waals force of attraction between gas molecules. In ideal gas there is no intermolecular forces between gas molecules, but in real gases there are weak van der Waals force of attraction between gas molecules. There are weak van der Waals forces van der Waals force of attraction force of attraction between gas molecules. Next, the third one, in ideal gas, for example, this is the ideal gas. In ideal gas, the volume of gas molecule is negligible. This is gas molecule. The volume of gas molecule is negligible. But in the real gases, this is the real gases. In the real gases, the volume of gas molecule is not negligible. Volume of gas molecule is significant. But in the ideal gas, the volume of gas molecule is negligible as compared to total volume of gas. Volume of gas molecule is negligible in compared to total volume of gas. Total volume of gas. See here, the volume of gas molecule is negligible compared to total volume of gas. But in real gases, volume of gas is significant. Volume of gas molecule is significant. Next, the fourth one, ideal gases follows ideal gas equation. Later we will derive the ideal gas equation, just you follow here. Ideal gases follow ideal gas equation, but real gases deviate from ideal gas equation. Ideal gases follows ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation. That's why PV is equal to nRT. This is the ideal gas equation. But real gases deviate from ideal gas equation. Real gases deviate from ideal gas equation. That's why PV is not equal to nRT. But real gases, instead of ideal gas equation, we apply van der Waals gas equation. Here, van der Waals gas equation is applied. Van der Waals gas equation is applied for real gases. The next one, fifth one, ideal gases cannot be liquefied, but real gases can be liquefied. Why? Because in ideal gases there is no intermolecular forces between gas molecules. As compared to gases, in liquid state all molecules are close to each other. But in ideal gas, there is no intermolecular force of attraction between gas molecules. If there is no intermolecular forces between the molecules, then molecules will not come close to each other. That's why ideal gases cannot be converted into liquid. But real gases can be converted into liquid. Why? Because in real gases, there are weak van der Waals force of attraction between gas molecule. Due to weak van der Waals force of attraction between gas molecules, real gases can be converted into liquid. Ideal gases cannot be liquefied. But real gases can be liquefied. Real gases can be liquefied. Why real gases can be liquefied? Because in real gases there are weak van der Waals force of attraction between the gas molecules. The sixth one, the ideal gas is a theoretical concept. Practically no gas will follow these conditions at all conditions of temperature and pressure. It is only theoretical concept. Theoretical concept. Practically no gas follows above conditions at all conditions of temperature and pressure. Right? No gas will follow these conditions at all conditions of temperature and pressure, and all natural gases are real gases. All natural gases are real gases. Okay, all natural gases are real gases. All natural gases are follows Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law only under certain specific conditions. These are the differences between ideal gas and real gases. Next, let us discuss about favorable conditions of pressure, volume and temperature for ideal gases and real gases. Ideal gases and real gases. The first one, for ideal gases volume should be high. Volume should be high. And second one, for ideal gases pressure should be low. Pressure should be low. And third one, for ideal gases temperature should be high. Temperature should be high. These are the favorable conditions for ideal gases. Now let us see what are the favorable conditions for real gases. The first one, for real gases volume should be low. Volume should be low. And second one, pressure should be high. Pressure should be high. The third one, temperature should be low. Temperature should be low. These are the favorable conditions for real gases. Natural gases, under these conditions they behave like real gases. Under these conditions they behave like ideal gases. But all natural gases are real gases. So under the high volume, low pressure and high temperature, real gases follows Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law, and real gases behaves like ideal gases. Here I will write, at low pressure and high temperature, real gases follows gas laws and behaves like ideal gases. But other than these conditions, real gases deviate from ideal gas behavior. But other than these conditions, real gases deviate from ideal behavior. Okay, what are real gases? real gases does not follow Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law and at all conditions of temperature and pressure, but at low pressure and high temperature real gases follows gas laws and behaves like ideal gases. Now let us discuss about ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation. What is ideal gas equation? It is a single equation which is the combination of Boyle's law, Charles law and Avogadro's law is known as ideal gas equation. A single equation which is combination of Boyle's law, Charles law and Avogadro's law is known as ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation. What is ideal gas equation? Just it is a combination of Boyle's, Charles law and Avogadro's law. And ideal gas equation is correlating with pressure, volume, temperature and number of moles of gas. That's why ideal gas equation is also called as equation of state. Ideal gas equation correlating the pressure, volume, temperature and number of moles of gas, and it describes the state of gaseous system and describes the state of a gaseous system. That's why it is also called as equation of state. Okay, this is called ideal gas equation. Now let us derive the ideal gas equation by using Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law. Why? Because ideal gas equation is the combination of Boyle's law, Charles law and Avogadro's law. Now let us consider Boyle's law. According to Boyle's law, volume is inversely proportional to pressure at constant temperature and N. According to Boyle's law, volume is inversely proportional to pressure at constant temperature and N. Just I am considering equation 1. Next, consider Charles law. According to Charles law, volume is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure and N. According to Charles law, volume is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure and N. This is considered as equation 2. Next, you consider Avogadro's law. According to Avogadro's law, volume is directly proportional to number of moles of gas at constant pressure and constant temperature. Volume is directly proportional to N at constant pressure and at constant temperature. It is considered as equation number 3. By combining equation 1 and equation 2 and equation 3, you will get by combining equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3, you will get volume is proportional to temperature N. So NT divided by P. This is equation number 4. Okay, now volume is equal to R into NT by P. This is equation number 5. Here R is a proportionality constant. R is universal gas constant. R is universal gas constant. Now you just rearrange this equation. By rearranging this equation, you will get PV is equal to nRT. This is called ideal gas equation. It is called ideal gas equation. In ideal gas equation, P means pressure, V means volume, N means number of moles of gas, R means universal gas constant, T means temperature of gas. Now, if you apply this mathematical expression for initial and final state, then it can write it as P1 V1 divided by T1 at number of moles is constant. At constant N and at constant R, P1 V1 divided by T1 is equal to nR. This is for initial state. For final state, P2 V2 divided by T2 is equal to nR. This is initial state, that is final state. Now we can write it as P1 V1 divided by T1 is equal to P2 V2 divided by T2. This is the final expression. This expression is called combined gas law. This is called combined gas law. Combined gas law. This is called combined gas law. The next concept is calculation of R values. At STP condition, at STP conditions, temperature is 273.15 Kelvin and pressure is 1 bar. Under this condition, 1 mole of gas occupy how much volume? 1 mole of gas occupy 22.7 liter. Okay. At STP conditions, when temperature is 273.15 Kelvin, pressure is 1 bar, 1 mole of gas occupies 22.7 liter. Here the pressure is 1 bar. 1 bar is equal to 10 power 5 newtons per meter square. Next, volume. What is volume? 22.7 liter. 22.7 liter. You write in cubic meters. 22.7 liter is equal to 22.7 into 10 power minus 3 cubic meter. Why? Because 1 liter is equal to 10 power minus 3 cubic meter. Next, here N value. N means 1 mole. Next, temperature. Temperature is 273.15 Kelvin. Now you substitute these values in ideal gas equation. What is ideal gas equation? PV is equal to nRT. Now you want to calculate R. So just rearrange this equation. R is equal to PV divided by NT. Now you substitute pressure, volume, N and T values. What is P? Pressure of gas. What is the pressure of gas? 10 power 5 in 10 power 5 newtons per meter square into what is the volume of gas? Volume of gas is 22.7 into 10 power minus 3 cubic meter. Next, divide by what is the N value? N is 1 mole. Into what is the temperature? Temperature is 273.15 Kelvin. Now here meter square get cancelled and the units, the remaining units are newtons meter divided by mole Kelvin, right? Here 1 joule is equal to newtons meter. So joules per mole Kelvin. The final unit is joules per mole Kelvin. Just you calculate this one. After calculation, nearly you will get 8.314. What is the R value? R value is 8.314 joules per mole Kelvin. This R value is constant. You have to remember R value. And this R value depends on units of pressure, volume and temperature. Now let us see different R values according to units of pressure, volume, temperature. R values are depends on units of pressure, volume and temperature. Now let us see different R values according to units of pressure, volume and temperature. The first one is R is equal to 8.314 joules per mole Kelvin. Use this R value when pressure is given in newtons per meter square and volume is given in cubic meter and temperature is given in Kelvin. When pressure is given in newtons per meter square or Pascal and volume is given in cubic meter and temperature is given in Kelvin. Use this R value when pressure is given in newtons per meter square, volume is given in cubic meter, temperature is given in Kelvin. The next one, R is equal to 0.082 liter ATM per mole Kelvin. Use this R value when pressure is given in ATM and when volume is given in liters and when temperature is given in Kelvin. Okay, next the third one, R is equal to 0.083 liter bar per mole Kelvin. Use this R value when pressure is given in bar and volume is given in liter and temperature is given in Kelvin. Okay, next the last one, the fourth one, R value is 2 calorie per mole Kelvin. Use this R value when they asked to calculate in calories. These are the different R values according to units of pressure, volume and temperature. The next concept is relation between density and molar mass of gas. Here there is a small derivation. We have to derive the relation between density and molar mass of gas by using ideal gas equation, and this derivation is important for 2 marks. Now let us consider ideal gas equation. The ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT. Here what is P and what is V? Here P means pressure of gas, V means volume of gas. Then what is nRT? N means number of moles, R means universal gas constant and T means temperature of gas. On rearranging this equation we get, on rearranging this equation we get N by V is equal to P by RT. Okay, next what is N? N means number of moles of gas. How do you calculate number of moles of gas? N is equal to mass of gas divided by molar mass of gas. Molar mass of gas. This is the formula to calculate number of moles of gas. Now you just replace N value by mass by molar mass. Mass by molar mass into volume is equal to P divided by RT. Now here mass by volume is equal to density. Since D is equal to M by V, just I am writing here density divided by molar mass. Why? Because mass by volume is equal to density of gas. So density of gas divided by molar mass of gas is equal to pressure of gas divided by universal gas constant into temperature of gas. Now just on rearranging this equation we get molar mass of gas is equal to D into R into T divide by P. Here M means molar mass, D means density, R means universal gas constant, T is temperature, P is pressure of gas. This is the final expression. Now, if temperature and pressure are constant, if temperature and pressure are constants, then this equation can be written as M is equal to D into R. Here R means universal gas constant or proportionality constant. So M is directly proportional to the density of gas at constant temperature and pressure. At constant temperature and pressure, the molar mass of gas is directly proportional to density of gas. If this mathematical expression is applied for initial and final state, then we can write it as M2 by M1 is equal to D2 by D1. This equation is important for numericals. This is the relation between density and molar mass of gas. Next, let us solve some numericals. The first one is 10 liter container contains 10 power 23 molecules of nitrogen at 227 degrees Celsius. Then calculate pressure in atm. Here you have to calculate pressure in atm unit. Now let us write the given data. Here volume of gas is given. So V is equal to 10 liter. Next, here the number of molecules of nitrogen is given. Number of molecules is equal to 10 power 23. Next, if number of molecules is given, then how do you calculate number of moles? What is the formula to calculate number of moles? Number of moles is equal to number of molecules divided by Avogadro number of molecules. The N is equal to N by Na. Here Na means Avogadro number of molecules. So N is equal to 10 power 23 divided by Avogadro number of molecules means 6.022 into 10 power 23. Here 10 power 23 get cancelled. Then number of molecules is equal to 6.022. Next, here temperature is given, but here temperature is given in degrees Celsius. So you have to convert into Kelvin scale. So temperature is equal to 227 degrees Celsius. To convert into Kelvin, just you have to add 273. Just you add 273.15. Then you will get nearly 500 Kelvin. The temperature is 500 Kelvin. Next, he is asking to calculate pressure in atm. The pressure is question mark and the final pressure should be in atm. Now, here volume is in liter, temperature is in Kelvin, the pressure is in atm. Then what is the R value? The R value is equal to 0.082 liter atm per mole Kelvin. Right? You have to use this R value. When pressure is given in atm, volume is given in 10 liters and temperature is given in Kelvin. Now you consider ideal gas equation. What is ideal gas equation? PV is equal to nRT. Here what you have to calculate? You have to calculate pressure. So you just rearrange this equation. Pressure is equal to nRT divided by volume. Next, you substitute the N value, R value, T value and V value. What is the N value? N value is 1 by 6.022 into, what is R value? 0.082. Okay, next into temperature. What is the temperature? 500 Kelvin. 500 Kelvin divided by, what is the volume? 10 liter. Now you simplify this one. After calculation, you will get nearly 0.68 atm. This is the final answer. This is the pressure of nitrogen gas. Next, let us solve second numerical. The second numerical is at 25 degrees Celsius, and 760 millimeter of mercury pressure, a gas occupies 600 ml volume. Then what will be the pressure of gas at a height of where temperature is 10 degrees Celsius and volume of gas is 640 ml. Here you have to calculate pressure of gas at 10 degrees Celsius and 640 ml. This is the final pressure. Now let us write the given data. Solution. See here, at 25 degrees Celsius, that means it is initial temperature. T1 temperature. T1 is equal to 25 degree Celsius. Here temperature values are given in degrees Celsius. So you have to convert into Kelvin. To convert into Kelvin, you have to add 273. Just you add 273 to degrees Celsius. After addition, you will get 298 Kelvin. Now, this is T1. Next, what is the P1? P1 is equal to 760 millimeter of mercury. At P1 and T1 temperature, what is the volume of gas? 600 ml of volume. V1 is equal to 600 ml. This is the initial data. Next, final data, where the temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, means it is the final temperature T2. T2 is equal to 10 degrees Celsius. Here also the values are given in degrees Celsius. So to convert into Kelvin, you have to add 273. Add 273. When you add 273, you will get 283 Kelvin. This is T2 temperature. At this temperature, you have to calculate pressure. So P2 is question mark. Next, at this temperature, what is the volume of gas? The volume of gas is 640 ml. V2 is equal to 640 ml. Now tell me, on the basis of given data, which formula is correct? Which formula we have to use to calculate P2? We have to select combined gas equation. Combined gas law. Okay, what is combined gas law? P1 V1 divided by T1 is equal to P2 V2 divided by T2. Now, what you have to calculate? You have to calculate P2, final pressure. So you just rearrange this equation. P2 is equal to P1 V1. T2 will comes here. So T2 divided by T1 into V2. Now you substitute these values in this equation. What is P1? What is the initial pressure? Initial pressure is 760 millimeter of mercury. Okay, next into what is V1? Initial volume is 600 ml. 600 ml into what is the T2 temperature? What is the final temperature? 283 Kelvin. Next, divide by what is the T1 temperature? T1 temperature is 298 Kelvin into what is V2 value? The V2 value is 640 ml. Now you calculate this one. After calculation, you will get P2. The P2 will the final answer will be in millimeter of mercury. Why? Because here ml get cancelled, Kelvin get cancelled. The final answer will be in millimeter of mercury. How much you will get? After calculation, you will get 676.6 millimeter of mercury. Next, let us solve third example. The third example is at 0 degrees Celsius, the density of a gaseous oxide at 2 bar pressure is the same as that of nitrogen at 5 bar pressure. Then what is the molecular mass of the oxide? Here we have to calculate molecular mass of the gaseous oxide. Now let us write the given data. First, here the temperature is constant. Next, what is the pressure of gaseous oxide? The pressure of gaseous oxide is 2 bar. Pressure of gaseous oxide is equal to 2 bar. Then what is the pressure of nitrogen gas? The pressure of nitrogen gas is equal to 5 bar. Okay. At this pressure, the density of gaseous oxide is same as density of nitrogen gas. Density of gaseous oxide is equal to density of nitrogen gas at constant temperature. Now what is the relation between density and molar mass? The relation between density and molar mass is equal to molar mass is equal to dRT divided by P. Here just rearrange this equation. D is equal to Pm by RT. This is the relation between density and molar mass. You just write here density of gaseous oxide is equal to pressure of gaseous oxide into molar mass of gaseous oxide. Molar mass of gaseous oxide is equal to density of nitrogen, divide by RT. Next, density of nitrogen. Similarly, pressure of nitrogen gas into molar mass of nitrogen gas divided by RT. See here temperature and R values are constant. Both are constant. Here we have to calculate molecular mass of gas oxide. Just rearrange this equation. Molecular mass of gas oxide is equal to pressure of nitrogen gas into molecular mass of nitrogen gas divided by pressure of gaseous oxide. Now you substitute the values. What is the pressure of nitrogen? The pressure of nitrogen is 5 bar. Next, what is the molecular mass of nitrogen? The molecular mass of nitrogen is 28 gram per mole. Okay, divide by what is the pressure of gaseous oxide? 2 bar. Here bar get cancelled and the final answer will be in gram per mole. How much you will get? After calculation you will get 70 gram per mole. What is the molecular mass of gaseous oxide? The molecular mass of gaseous oxide is 70 gram per mole. We will continue in next class. Thank you.